Come see me, yo, I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday, everybody. It's your girl, Constance Carter. Well, listen, I really, for real, I really missed y'all. And you know, when I be coming here, I be having to do some technical stuff. So what happens is I go out on like 9 different platforms. So on my Facebook page, for some reason, when it goes out, it doesn't go out like public. It goes out locked. So I have to unlock that. And then, so that's what I be trying to do when the intro happens, but sometimes it just doesn't happen soon enough. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just making sure that this is going out on my Facebook page as well as all of the other pages. And I'm also going to put this in the group, the woke group. All right. So if you are not in the woke group, you need to get in the woke group, because that's a group for all of my wealth builders. That's a group that I have where, I just try to drop, just different information. Go to Facebook, go to woke. And a lot of you guys are in the woke group. I'm actually going to change it to stay woke, and it was birthed out of, just this rebellion, because what pissed me off really bad was when Donald Trump, he took our word and he bastardized it. I don't know if you guys know, but Donald Trump took the word woke and now it's become some curse word that these conservatives are using to basically say that, they've used it for like the LGBT and all these other things. And really it's been for us to be aware. Let me give you an example.
Woke is bullshit. I don't know if you've been watching, but we got rid of woke over the last 2 weeks. Woke is gonzo.
So we took over the Kennedy Center. We didn't like what they were showing and various other things. We're going to make sure that it's good and it's not going to be woke. There's no more woke in this country. This woke has cost us a fortune and cost us our reputation.
I don't like the term woke because I hear woke. It's like just a term that half the people can't even define it. They don't know what it is. A lot of things going on with our military, with the woke and all this nonsense.
So anyway, we've been woke forever. So half the people can't define it because they don't know what it is, because they've hijacked the word and they bastardized it and they used it for something that was totally not what it was intended for. Black people, I want you to stay woke. And so when I talk about woke, I'm talking about being wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. That's what woke means for us. And so I want to take our word back and I want to use it for good. And that's the reason why I changed the name of the group, My Wealth Roadmap, to woke. Wealthy, outstanding. We are Black excellence. Okay. So we're wealthy, we're outstanding, we're knowledgeable, and we are empowered. We even have stay woke t-shirts, y'all, because we want to let them know that we are woke, and we don't give a damn if they've taken it or if they turned it into a bad word. We gonna be woke anyway. I just got off into this little soapbox. This was not part of what I wanted to say. Like every day I go live, I want to make sure that I shout you out. So everybody that's here, wherever you're watching from, and lovely JR, thank you. That's another thing. So lovely JR is always here every single day. And I saw you guys on here last week, and I wasn't on here. I went to a funeral. My uncle passed away. But lovely JR, also we had a training that we were supposed to have last week, and I sent out an email to all of the attendees. It was the Bring Your Idea to Life training, and we moved it to the 15th and the 16th. So I sent out an email to everybody saying, for all the people who were coming to our training, that I had a death in the family and that we weren't going to be able to do it. And I got quite a few emails on Saturday morning saying, hey, I'm looking for the link to get in the training. So I'm so sorry. Lovely JR, you were one of them. I'm so sorry that you didn't get the original email. For all those who are taking the Bring Your Idea to Life training, we actually moved it to the 15th and the 16th of March. Okay. So this is 2 days that you get to spend with me, where I'm going to help you take your idea. I know a lot of you have ideas that you want to bring to life. Like you've sat on things, you've seen other people start businesses. You're seeing these people that are just doing huge things. Like in my Net 7 collective, these ladies are doing huge things. Well, you have 2 days with me where we're going to go in depth. And we are going to take you from ideation to manifestation to monetization. Okay. So I'm going to help you to take that idea that you had, we're going to bring it to life. So it's going to be real life. It's a workshop style workshop. So you're going to bring your information. We're going to be working on it live in real time in this 2-day training, all day with me. So now for those of you who didn't know about it or didn't have time to sign up for it, you have time to sign up for it. So go to thinkbuildmonetize.com. Go to thinkbuildmonetize.com, right? Let me make sure this link is still working. thinkbuildmonetize.com. Make sure. Yep. thinkbuildmonetize.com. Ooh, it still has the old date on it, but it has an old date on the flyer. However, we've changed it inside the course. So enroll, and it's $997, but we have a 90% discount. Let me make sure that everything looks good. If it don't look good, make sure you can. Okay, so this is the 15th and 16th. There's a code, there's a coupon code. So it's actually only $397. It's not $997. So we've discounted it. So if you see the coupon code right here that says BBS, go ahead and put the coupon code in, and you can get this training 2 days. And then also Dr. Boyce, he so graciously gave you all some bonus trainings in there. The 8 P's of success, steps to get your business going, things you need to know, and how to market your brand with digital advertising. Also, you get 2 months free for the Grow Your Money Club as well. And the Grow Your Money Club has like over 30 trainings on various things. From I don't want to tell you about it. Let me just show you about it real quick. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows. This is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen. One of the trainings in there is how to create your jaw-dropping video. I actually did this video right before I got on to the podcast last week. It took me like 30 minutes. I teach you how to do the same thing. That's one of the many 30 videos. But basically, inside the Grow Your Money Club, and if you are new to me, I'm Constance Carter. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. Okay, so I'm a real estate investor, commercial, residential real estate, flip property, invest in stocks, and I just grow my money. I have a marijuana dispensary, and I've made some cool investments. So basically what I do in everything, if you don't know anything about me, is I want to show you how to do what I do. So everything I know, I teach, right? I don't care. I am not a gatekeeper at all. So everything I've done 20 years of training, going all over the place, just pouring into myself. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in investing in myself and learning. And so I just do that inside the Grow Your Money Club, inside Net 7 Collective, inside these trainings that I do, inside my live trainings, all of these things that I do them for you because I want us to close the wealth gap. And I just want to help Black people. So one of the things that I always do when I come live here every single day is I want to shout out the Black business owners, because I believe that that's one of the ways that we're going to become insulated from all the BS I'm gonna do my best without cussing today, because my dad said I can't be cussing. So, but all the BS that's going on that's strategically and specifically targeted towards impeding you and your growth, Black people. When they say, one of my great mentors, he said, white people aren't thinking about you. And I love him to death. And I think he is one of the most brilliant thought leaders in the world. He said, white people ain't thinking about you. They thinking about their families, their kids. And in a way, they are thinking about them first, right? In them thinking about them first, they're thinking about blocking you. So I do believe that they are. I mean, look at Project 2025. They are, and this is what we're going to talk about today. They are so concerned with the browning of America that they're doing everything that they can to stay in charge. They're doing everything that they can to stay, to continue the system of white supremacy, of systemic racism, to keep you oppressed, to keep you broke. And I don't subscribe to a lot of the podcast when they're talking about, oh no, what we gonna do? They doing this, they taking away. My goal, and every time I come live with you, my goal is not to just complain about it, is to inform you, is to make you aware, and is to give you solutions on how you could position yourself to become a player in this economy. Because shit's going down. Sorry, Dad. Shit's going down. And either you can become the victim or the victor. Straight up, real talk. Okay? So the way we become insulated from all the BS is if we work together. You know what I mean? So we had the Target boycott last week. How many of you guys successfully completed that boycott? And the boycott is not just a one-day thing, because they don't feel the effects with just one day, right? Because one of the things I heard was, let's buy up everything today, let's not buy tomorrow, and then we go back to buying the next day. It's like, what? What's the whole point? They're going to get the money the next day. No, what you do is you start taking away from, you start redirecting your funds. I'm not going to be reliant on this particular store. I'm going to redirect my funds. I'm going to be intentional about where I spend my money. But before I go there, y'all know how to get on my soapbox. I want to recognize the Black-owned businesses, because I want to make sure that we put your information out there, that everybody knows that they can work with you. I don't know if you guys know that Asians are, they have the least voter turnout, but they are the most insulated when it comes to policy. Why? Because they practice collective economics, because they are not reliant on the government. They are self-reliant. It is not too late to register, Dana. Go to thinkbuildmonetize.com. I'm going to put that in Think Build Monetize. I'm going to put it in the comments. I am Build Monetize. I am, and I need to start advertising every day too. So we got 2 weeks before it starts. I'm gonna make sure I remind y'all every day. You guys make sure that you guys register for this. I'm still handicapped. I don't know if y'all know, but I almost cut off my finger 2 weeks ago. And so this is I got some Neosporin on here, but what I'd taken my Band-Aid off, and the way my finger is healing crooked, because I almost sliced it off, and then the tip of my finger almost came off. And so these are 2 stitches in here, but I can't play the bass for a long time. And who knew? It was not in my bingo card that I was going to wake up, try to clean up. It'll be a cleanup day for me. And I was going to almost chop off my finger. Anyway, sorry, y'all, got distracted again. I love you guys. I really do. Y'all are my family for real. Okay. So make sure you put your business in the comments, and we want to shout you out. We want to put your business up in the comments. Okay. That's important. We want to be insulated. We got to create our own economies. And then if you want to register for the training, it's Think, Build, Monetize. Can you put that back? thinkbuildmonetize.com. Go to thinkbuildmonetize.com. The flyer in there, I have to swap it out. It still says March 1st and 2nd, but it's really the 15th and 16th. Okay. And then shout out to Lovely JR. You said thank you for responding so quickly to me. I appreciate you. You know, my thing is I felt so terrible, and that was the day of my uncle's funeral. And oh, by the way, let me tell you about my uncle's funeral. So my uncle, y'all, my uncle passed away, and he was the patriarch of our family. My mom comes from a family of 11 siblings, and my Uncle Bill, he was the oldest living brother, and he passed away. But y'all, my Uncle Bill is so dope, because he moved to San Diego from Arkansas. My family's from Arkansas. He moved to San Diego, and when I tell you, He's the epitome of a generational wealth builder. My uncle bought a bunch of properties out there, duplexes, apartments. So when he passed away, it was sudden. It wasn't, he wasn't sick for a very long time. But his kids, his grandkids, and his great grandkids are set. Do you hear me? The Bible says a good man, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. So he not only like left something, he left houses, y'all. This stuff I'm doing too, right? I have my oldest two got properties. I'm buying properties for my youngest two right now. But this is what we should be doing. We should be leaving an inheritance. They have stock, they have bonds, they have real estate, they got cash. This man built his church, helped build his church in San Diego, California. And, we all flew in. It was probably maybe 200 or 300 of us that flew in to celebrate his life. And it was so awesome. And let me just, I had shared on my Facebook page, but this young lady, I don't know who she is, but she was a saxophone player and she played, watch this. Man, that girl, I didn't expect that. I guess, I had been to a few reunions, and I guess she played at a couple of our family reunions. My Uncle Bill always had the family reunions. And so he was really good about making sure the family stayed together, making sure that we still got together. And so we still get together every other year. And I was blown away. I seen this young girl getting up there. I was like, okay, this going to be, I didn't think it was going to be bad. I was like, okay, it's going to be cute. I didn't know it was going to be that powerful. So that was amazing. And so, I was able to thank you. That was really, really beautiful. It was such a great tribute to a really good man. I mean, there was, the funeral was, a tribute to the person that this man was. He loved his family, he loved his kids, he loved his church, all of the good stuff. So it's funny because my family, we've gotten together for the last, I guess, 25, 30 years. No, 30, 35 years for these family reunions. So I saw this picture of my parents' siblings, right? These are my mom's and her siblings. And so I posted on my Facebook the other day. I was like, which one do you guys think is my mom? Which one do you guys think? So I'm gonna ask you guys, which one do you guys think is my mom? My mom is one of 11. I think here there were 2 missing. That's Maria right there. So my grandmother Maria, she's of course passed away back in 2016. She was 99. But this is her and all of her siblings. Uncle Bill, the one who passed away, was the one on the right over there, all the way to the right. There's only a few of them left. There's only there's 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 left. So I guess four gone. This is my mom and her siblings today. But I asked you guys which one you guys think my mom is, because a lot of people said the wrong person. Let me ask. Who do you guys think is my mom? Because on Facebook, a lot of people thought that this was my mom. Everybody was like, this one, the one with the red pants, right? But my mom is actually that one right there. Could you tell? A lot of people thought my aunt was my mom. I thought that was interesting. But then what I also thought, so this is my mom, like I said, and my mom and her siblings now. And then my cousins, so those three right there. So there's a couple of dads. So these all have the same father, and the three of us, we all have so it's my cousin, that's her dad, and these are like my close cousins. So I think we kind of look alike a little bit. What y'all think? Yeah. This my mama today, me and my mama, and then they say your cousins are always your first best friends. So here's a few of my cousins at the repast. But we had a good time. We had a real good time. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this information, because I think it's really important to understand why we're seeing a lot of the things that we're seeing today. But before we start, so I was doing the Black History Month videos every day for March, and I'm gonna still try to keep it up for like once a week. But I am doing a woke minute, which I introduced a couple of weeks ago. So every day before we really get into the nitty gritty of the conversation, I want to give you a woke tip. Okay, so let me give you today's woke tip, and this is something that I these are. Well, I'm gonna let the
Welcome to the Woke Minute. It's your girl Constance Carter. This is where we will drop quick tips to build wealth, seize opportunity, gain knowledge, and empower your legacy. Opportunities are everywhere, but are you ready? Here's the truth. Opportunities don't knock, they whisper. So stay ready, keep your credit tight, keep your savings right, and your network strong. Because when the deal of a lifetime comes up, the time to prepare has passed. So stay ready so you never have to get ready. That's your woke minute, because when you stay woke, you stay wealthy.
So listen, let me tell you guys. Okay, let me wait. Oh, you said you would have been right. Everybody on Facebook was wrong. The one with the red shirt, yeah, shirt on you look like her. Let me see. The one with the red shirt. Is that my auntie Aura? The one with the red shirt. Okay, so let me tell you why I said that. The reason why that was my woke minute for today. The one with the red shirt. Oh yeah, that's my mama. Yeah, the one with the red shirt is my mama. Anyway, the reason why I had that woke minute today is because it's really important that we stay ready so that we don't have to get ready. In 2008, when the financial crisis hit, I was one of the top real estate brokers in the area. Okay, I was selling like maybe 300 properties a year. I was selling all those properties, but yet I had more month than money. I had to end up filing bankruptcy. And there was these people who did not look like us. It was mostly us, because I was in Stockton, California, which was the foreclosure capital of the world. And people who did not look like us were buying the properties, and people who look like us were losing their property. They were selling their properties. They were they weren't selling them. They were short selling their properties, or they were foreclosing. And they were getting these houses for like $25,000. Houses that were like $300,000. They were getting them from like $25,000. And I couldn't partake. I ended up filing bankruptcy in 2009. And after I filed bankruptcy, I said, there will never be a time that an opportunity presents itself and I cannot partake. Okay. So when I decided that I wanted to invest in a marijuana dispensary, the opportunity presented itself. I had already set the intention. Like, I really want to get into this marijuana business. I knew that it was $1 trillion business, that I wanted to have a seat at the table, that all these white people were taking advantage of the marijuana industry, while all these Black people are in prison to this day for marijuana crimes, so I said, I want to have a seat at the table. And so when an opportunity presented itself, I was ready. I was the right person in the right place at the right time. So they said, Constance, I have an investment opportunity for you to be an investor or an owner in a marijuana dispensary. I said, how much of a check do I need to write? It was a 6-figure investment. I was ready. I didn't have to get ready because I was already ready I was the right person. So y'all, don't overextend yourself. Be ready for opportunities when they present themselves. You never know when a brilliant opportunity is going to come. Now, this marijuana dispensary, you know what I do with it? This is money for my kids. This is money that I get every quarter. I put it in a trust for my kids. And then I put it into a vehicle that generates compounded interest. That's part of their legacy. Okay. So this is something that I'm not using. I'm not using this money now, but this is money this is passive income that I'm setting my kids up. So what I'm doing now, this investment, this decision that I made, I'm not only setting up my children, teaching them, their financial literacy, but I'm setting their children up for success. Okay. So you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. Make sure you're saving, make sure you're becoming knowledgeable, make sure you're investing, make sure you're being economical, make sure you're obsessed with your success. Okay. That is the secret to breaking the broke code. Okay. I appreciate you. So I want to talk about this whole idea of the whiting of the browning of America. So I was going to talk about this last week, y'all, and then I got kind of sidetracked when I was, somebody had said last week that that's why you ain't got no man, Constance, and I was like, y'all act like a man having a man is the measure of success. So then I talked about something else, but I actually wanted to talk about this last week when I saw the whole idea of the gold card, right? And you got to think about this gold card. Why do you think Trump is rolling out this new gold card? Why do you think so? It's a visa, but it's a gold card, and it's to help the wealthiest basically buy their way into America. They got to pay $5 million. They don't have to wait in line for their visa. You think it's about business? No, it's not about the economy. No, it's about power, and it's about control. And more importantly, y'all, this is about the whitening of America, which has happened in the past. I need you guys to understand this. This is about race. This is about control, okay? Because here's what they won't say out loud. America is browning. The numbers don't lie. I don't know if y'all know, but by the year 2045, white Americans will no longer be the majority in America. And if you don't think that they are shaking their head and they shaking in their boots, y'all better think again. Okay. So I want to just kind of go through why Trump's gold card isn't just about money. I want to talk to you about the historical playbook that other countries have used to whiten their population. It's not new. I want to kind of just explain what the eugenics movement is about. And then what happens when a country loses its racial majority and why it terrifies them. They lose their power, right? But the most important part of this all is how do we thrive no matter what? Because we have all these boogeyman scary things that are going on that they are plotting and planning and all that stuff to make sure that they stay in power. But y'all, they've underestimated us because what we got that they didn't have back in the day is we have each other. We have network. We got the power of the internet. We have one another so they can do whatever they want to try to maintain power. They're saying in our face what they've said behind closed doors. They just think that we are not smart enough or they think we're too stupid to understand. Okay. So I want you guys to be clear. Immigration has never been about fairness. It's always been about who gets in and who stays out of this country. Okay. So look at Trump's gold card, right? It's the fast track for the wealthy who just so happens to be overwhelmingly white, overwhelmingly from Europe, Canada, and Australia. You notice the border efforts are not above. They're not going anywhere else. Everybody else could get in, but they want to stop Mexico, right? You notice how Trump is now he has an interest in South Africa, but the man said out of his mouth, white South Africans, Afrikaners. While you see Haitians, Nigerians, and other Black immigrants are getting denied. And then you have this idea of this mass deportation of Latinos and African immigrants, but you don't hear them talking about the European visa overlays. Okay? So America has always used immigration as a tool to shape the racial demographics. Let me just go over this real quick. The 1790s, gosh, my finger. Oh my God, my finger. The 1790s Naturalization Act, we can go all the way back to that, right? The first law on U.S. citizenship explicitly stated that only free white people could become naturalized citizens. I don't know if you knew, but that really set the tone for immigration policies for the next 2 centuries. And then in 1882, you have the Chinese Exclusion Act. Remember? I don't know. I remember that in history. For the first time, the U.S. outright banned an entire ethnic group. Why? Because they feared an Asian takeover. And then Brazil's whitening policy. I don't know if you knew, but Brazil was one of the last countries to ban slavery, like in the 1880s. But then Brazil became too black. And so they had the whitening. They had a whole policy. Let me show you what Brazil used to look like and what Brazil looks like now. They had a whole campaign where they whitened Brazil. This is what Brazil looked like in the early 1900s, late 1800s. This is what Brazil looks like today. This was all by design, right? That there's this idea that we need to get rid of the undesirables, which are more likely look like you and look like me, right? So Brazil, so what they did is they gave Europeans, Italians, people from all European countries, they gave them money and land to move to Brazil, to whiten Brazil. Now you see Brazil is a big melting pot. But they all, they have, European descent, they have native descent, and they have African descent. But they did a really good job in erasing Brazilians' black population. And of course, they moved all of them to a lot of the poor areas. And then you see the people who were from Europe, they have the more wealthier area. So according to the US Census, in 2045, white Americans will no longer be the majority. Y'all, that is 20 years away. This country is becoming browner and blacker, and that is why you are seeing policies designed to counteract it. Let's look at the birth rates. White people have the lowest birth rate. Hispanic, they making babies like rabbits. Black people, we right behind. Asians are after us. But white people, their birth rates are low. So their birth rates are low. They're not making babies, and they are scared. They have fear of a black planet. Remember Public Enemy? Fear of a black planet? It's a very real thing. So there's this theory called the Great Replacement Theory. And this is like a right-wing conspiracy theory that claims white Americans are being replaced by immigrants of color. And that's why Trump has enacted these policies, which Project 2025, which he denied, are all part of that, right? And I don't know if you know about Project 2025, but it's a long term. They've been planning this since the 80s because they knew that 2045 was coming up and they didn't want their kids and grandkids to have to deal with it. That's why when you see a lot of, and when I was in San Diego, that's all I seen was a lot of interracial couples. And they hate that. And so they want to make sure that their conservative agenda is aimed at reversing diversity initiatives. So that's why they're trying to restrict a lot of immigrants from non-European countries, and they want to maintain political control. Have you heard about the idea of Trump running for a third term? They want to. They know that Trump. Based upon their base and these ideals, that Trump is the only one who has a chance at actually securing and carrying out their agenda. So they're going to do everything that they can to keep him in power so that they can, and this dummy, like for Trump, it's all about the money. It has nothing to do. If the Democrats would have paid him, he'd be a Democrat. He already said that he would be a Republican if he had to be a Republican because they're the dumbest. Like, we know that these people are dumb. Like, they will vote against their own best interest. Remember, Lyndon B. Johnson, he said, if you could take and I want you guys to Google this. I say it all the time. If you could take the lowest white man and convince him that he's better than the best colored man, he won't even know you picking his pockets. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he will give you everything he owns. This is the conservative, the Republican Party. This is their thought. This is the people in power, period, right? That's the whole idea of how the construct of race came into play, is because they had black people as the slaves, and they had the Irish that weren't far above them. And they were indentured servants, and they knew that they were going to be outnumbered, outpowered. So they were smart enough to say, yo, let's create this idea of whiteness, of race, to make sure that we keep these people oppressed. Because when you have people that always talk about, oh, well, black people enslaved their own people and black people sold their own people, and there's been slavery for, for centuries. Yeah, but there's never been a bondage in a way where you are enslaved your entire life. Your children are enslaved. You're beat, brutalized. When you were an indentured slave back then, you got to go home to your family. So they created this whole construct of race to make sure that they stay in power. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what this whole thing is about. So they're not just thinking about today, they're thinking the next 50 years ahead. So my question to you is, are we thinking the next 50 years ahead? That's what I want. That's what I want to know. Are you thinking the next 50 years ahead? While you answer that question, while you ponder on that, I want to go to a quick commercial. All right. I want to tell you a little bit about the Net 7 Collective.
3 or 4 years. I've been praying for a business coach. I knew that a coach, I read many times that all the most successful people have a coach. Coaches have coaches.
I've learned how to purchase land. I've learned how to do overages in real estate. And I even learned some different things with credit, that I've gotten my credit cleaned up with my bankruptcy, that I'm almost in my home stretch. Doing everything right now and applying it.
I finished 2 ebooks. If I could do it, anybody can do it. And started a nonprofit.
Gotten more out of this than I ever anticipated.
Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses.
I'm telling you, I would move heaven and earth not to miss one of these sessions.
That's the Net 7 Collective. So if you are interested in joining the Net 7 Collective, that's where I coach. I personally coach Black women. We have a beautiful and brilliant community of smart, strong, savvy Black women. We even wrote a book. Boom. Unbreakable. This was actually birthed out of one of the sessions that we had. Somebody said, we should write a book. And guess what? We messed around and wrote a book. And it's a beautiful book. And in fact, within the first 24 hours of releasing this book, we were within the top 100 of books on Amazon. So that was amazing. But this is an opportunity for you to work with me, become an author. You learn how to do all kinds of stuff. You learn how to really build, increase your net worth to over $1 million. Because that's my contribution to close the wealth gap. So let me ask you this question. Are you planning for the next 50 years? Black people. One of my brilliant mentors, Dr. George C. Fraser, said, white people are planning for the next 25 years and Black people are planning for Saturday night. Ooh. Let me repeat that. White people are planning for the next 25 years and Black people are planning for Saturday night. Are you? They playing a long game, y'all. Project 2025, 1980s. They're playing the long game. Are you planning for the next 50 years? Huh? Okay. Sophia said, yeah, I am. Yep. I remember seeing an interview with CEO. He said his target employee salary is 0. Tahuti said, trying to get my nephews, great nephews, and nieces to build wealth with me. Make sure, that's another thing, you guys, is make sure you're sharing this information out to your nieces, your nephews, your aunties, your cousins, all of that. And the cool thing is when I was in San Diego, that's the only thing I was doing, is I was just trying to pour into my cousins, my little cousins and my cousins, and I was telling them how, just dropping nuggets of, hey, you could do this. What is your passion? What is it that you really want to do? And encouraging the young ones and just talking to the old ones. That's what I do. That's what we always have to do. We got to each one teach one, right? I'm cool too. I knocked the shot of tequila back, but I also was, just sharing, information with my cousins. And that's what we need to be doing. That's why this is so important. There's an African proverb that says, when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. And I believe that's true. That we as women and men, please don't just listen to this, share this. There's a saying, a biblical saying that I have with my Net 7 Collective. I said, don't just be hearers of the word. Be what? And they all say doers of the word. I'm invested in making sure that they're in action. I'm invested in making sure you Black people are in action because they are planning for the next 50 years. My question to you is, are you planning for the next 50 years? Okay. So I want to go back to the early 1900s because I need you to really understand the depth of all this. Okay, so in the early 1900s, eugenics was pushed. It was the idea that certain races were superior and others were undesirable. Now, I don't know if you know Margaret Sanger, but go back and look at my Black History Month videos. I talked about Margaret Sanger from Planned Parenthood. Okay, she's the person who birthed Planned Parenthood. But the whole idea around Planned Parenthood was to put these things in Black communities because she believed in eugenics. She wanted to annihilate the Black undesirable race. And there was a letter that she wrote to the gentleman from Procter and Gamble, because they were both staunch racists. I think it was Procter. Oh, yeah, I think it was Procter. And said, listen, this is what we got to do, y'all. She didn't say it like this. She said it like with her white voice. She said, this is what we got to do. We got to get the preachers involved, the pastors, like the really charismatic ones, because Black people will do what? We listen to our pastors. We listen to our preachers. So we got to get the preachers involved, and we got to convince them that this is for their best interest. We got to get them to kill their babies off, because what's going to happen is this is in the early 1900s. They knew that our birth rates were increasing. So they knew that the browning of America was coming, and they've been planning this for a very long time. So while even today, you'll see Planned Parenthoods mostly in minority neighborhoods. You're not going to see it in no wealthy areas. You got to go to the hood to go to Planned Parenthood, or downtown to go to a Planned Parenthood. That's by design. So people are touting Margaret Sanger was a champion for women's rights. No, she was a champion for Black death. That's what she did. So that's what they wanted to do, is they want to annihilate your race. That's what they've been planning. So then that was in the early 1900s. So then in 1924, they put a quota on Black and brown immigrants while opening the floodgates for Europeans. Even the Nazi Germans, they studied American eugenic policies before enacting their own. And what ended up happening? The Holocaust. So when we see today's policies favoring white immigrants and locking out Black and brown immigrants, this ain't nothing new, y'all. It's the same old playbook with a new name. Okay. So let's look at these statistics that we have here. So let me see. I already told you about the birth rate. Okay. This is the projected demographics. So this is where we are. This is where we were at 2000. They're going down by 2050, while you have everybody else going up. Y'all, this is what's keeping these people up at night. You see this? They're the only ones going down, but everybody's going up. And that's the reason why it's critical for them to keep us poor and uninformed. And y'all, they think y'all stupid. You see the wealth gap, right? Their median wealth is far beyond, because of course, you know why. It's not because we're lazy, we're shiftless, but there have been policies put in place. Y'all know that. We have, there has been systemic issues. They've had 400-year head start. And then on top of that, every time we move forward, every time we took 2 steps forward, they pushed us 10 steps back, right? You know, all of those things. Every time we've grown some affluence. I don't know if y'all look at some of my Black History Month videos. There were many communities like Black Wall Street, like Greenwood and Black Wall Street. There were many communities like that. The Wilmington massacre that happened in the early 1900s, late 1800s. This was right after the emancipation. There were more elected Black officials after the emancipation, after the Civil War, than any time in America. And so Wilmington, South Carolina was one of those thriving communities where they had all of these elected officials. They were doing the damn thing. They were thriving. They had their own economies. Dollar was circulating, just like it's circulating in Tulsa. And these white people, of course, they got jealous. They burned down the towns. And not only that, a lot of people have never heard of this. This is the only, you guys know what a coup d'etat is? It's when they overthrow the government. There was actually a coup d'etat in America that you've never heard of, because they overthrew the Black government officials in Wilmington, South Carolina. This is the only coup d'etat that happened on, North Carolina. Thank you. This is only the coup d'etat that has happened in America, in American history. But I didn't learn about it in my history books. Did you? No. They actually minimized it as if it was a race riot, which it wasn't. It wasn't just a race riot. It was a coup. They came into this town. They killed the people. They killed almost 300 people. They killed a lot of the elected officials. They overthrew them and they said, we're going to put some white people in their place. So what I'm telling you is every time we've tried to take steps forward and had some progress, they've systematically burned our towns down. We know that Tulsa, Oklahoma, they blew the town up. There were bombs dropped from the sky, which meant what? The federal government was involved, which they admitted here recently. Every time we've gotten some unity. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America was what? Negro unity. Every time we got some unity, they said they feared a black messiah. We need to kill him. Martin Luther King, killed by the federal government. Malcolm X, killed by informants that were part of the federal government. The Black Panthers, killed by the federal government. They fear your unity. Again, they've underestimated us as a people because that stuff that they talking right now, they're doing in plain sight. They telling you, here's Project 2025. Here's the playbook. And Donald Trump has been carrying it out from day one. And then they say, it's like extreme gaslighting, right? You know how you got a dude, a lot of women know, because I talk to a lot of women, you have a guy that will cheat in your face and be like, your eyes didn't see what they thought that they saw. No, I don't. And then probably some of you men do that too. That wasn't me. You could catch them on a downstroke. They'd be like, nope, that wasn't me. That's exactly what the federal government is doing. They're telling you the playbook. It's all available. Heritage Foundation, look it up. And they're telling you this is not what it is. So they think you're stupid. They play in these mind games. They are gaslighting you. Okay. So the crazy thing is states like California, say it's blowing me up today. Texas and Georgia, they're already majority minority. They are pissed. So this is why, again, Project 2025 is so important because they want to make sure that their white power stays intact. That's why they got rid of DEI. That's why they're defunding our programs, our economic programs. That's why they're altering immigration laws in favor of European countries. That's why they're pushing for what? Mass deportation. It's not about policy. This is about their survival, and they will do whatever it takes to hold on to the power. Y'all, it's a long-term game. I want you to think about that. I want you to let that marinate for a little bit. So we got to come at it. We got to play chess and not checkers. We got to play chess and not checkers. And so how do we do that? Well, we're going to talk about it as soon as we come back from this little commercial. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The Wealth Map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop one new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. Yo, what are we gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? You know what? Gold Ray said we must control our own narrative without anyone outside of our race. I'm grateful that we're in this time that we're in now. I think it's a good thing, because for far too long we have been dependent on the government. Black people are, we're extremely dependent, and that's these social services programs. They're there. We pay taxes for them. We're entitled to them. But it's funny because I seen last week that there was a politician that said, who was that said that about people on welfare getting their nails done and all that stuff? And it's like, yo, y'all are the ones. Majority of y'all are on welfare as opposed to us. But they want to create this narrative. Even Ronald Reagan talked about the welfare queen, and they had Black women as the face of welfare. And we've never been the biggest benefactor of welfare programs. We haven't. Right. And welfare. Oh, by the way, that's another video I did for Black History Month when I talked about the man in the house rule. Y'all know that welfare was part of the thing that dismantled the Black family, because what they would do is they would say, okay, either, because first of all, they wouldn't hire Black men. Right. They wouldn't hire, discrimination, all that stuff. So they couldn't get hired. And then they would say, either talk to the wife, either you got to have your husband in the house or you get this money. So the husband has to leave the house in order for them to get the money, even though he couldn't get a job. Not that he wasn't trying to get a job. So then what happens? There's a breakdown in the Black family, because now in order for us to get welfare, we got to let our husbands go. And then they would do things that were so degrading, you guys, to Black men. Is Black men will say, okay, I'll stay away from the house. I'll come home at night. And they would have raids. And they only did this to Black people. They would have raids to make sure that there was no man in the house. How are you gonna come up? And they would find these, can you imagine these big burly Black men hiding in the closet because they just want to spend time with their family, and the only way that they can is at night. And then you're gonna come in my house and look for him. I mean, it's so degrading, but it was part of the breakdown of the Black family. And these are, I mean, y'all, I could give you a million ways and a million intersections of how the attack on us. And y'all, it just goes to show you that we're resilient, because here we are, we're still here, we're still thriving. During 2020, we were the biggest, we had the biggest growth in home ownership and wealth. Yeah. 44% of us are still homeowners, even though that they've tried to take that away from us, even though that they've taken our land and they've had practices put in place so that we couldn't buy. But yet 44% of us, people look at that as a glass half empty, because 70% of them are homeowners. They've had zero obstacles. In fact, the Homestead Act of 1862, they got millions of free acres of land where they were able to build wealth. We built this country for 100, 250 years for free and got nothing, not even the promised 40 acres and a mule. So you mean to tell me 95% of them ain't homeowners, ain't building wealth? Sounds like a failure to me. You've gotten a 100-year head start, a 400-year head start, plus free land, plus loans, plus GI bills. You've gotten everything in your favor. And you mean to tell me only 70% of y'all own homes? And we've had predatory lending, we've had discrimination, we have systematic racism, we had mass incarceration, and yet and still 44% of us are, y'all, Black people, give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. You are resilient in spite of. Don't let nobody, don't take on that mantra that we can't get together, we fighting each other, we killing each other. That's what they want. Yes, we are Black brilliance. We embody Black brilliance. We embody brilliance. So don't let anybody tell you that you ain't worth nothing, that we are the scum of the earth. Don't let nobody. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you. You are Black brilliance. Okay. So how do we keep thriving? How do we stay thriving? We build Black wealth. Y'all know, I'm going to tell you every time, ownership is our power. We have to control our own narrative. You Black people, we have to be the ones to control our own narrative. So y'all, we have so much more power. We have so many more, we have brilliant people. They used to say, if you want to keep something from a Black person, put it in a book, right? Well, they didn't plan on us having social media. They didn't plan on us being able to get with each other. They didn't plan for all of that. They didn't know. So they still, again, talking in plain sight, thinking you and me is dumb, but they didn't know that this was only mobilizing us. They didn't know. They had around and gave us the internet. They didn't know. Y'all are resilient. So we got to get politically strategic, okay? So y'all understand, you have to understand that local policies, they matter more than national ones. So we have to vote with strategy. We got to pull our resources together. If we can create a PAC, a political action campaign or committee, we got to start creating our own policies, but we got to start voting at a local level, okay? Because those are the people who make the decisions for you locally, okay? We got to support Black-owned businesses, okay? You guys know, during Black Wall Street and things like that, our dollar circulated longer than anybody. There's even in the most close-knit neighborhoods, you have in the Hispanic communities, 11 days, white community, 20 days or 17 days, Asian community, 20 days, Jewish community, 30 days. The dollar circulates, right? In our community, it circulates 6 hours. So we're not intentional about our spending. When we had to do business with each other, our dollar circulated for a year. There's nobody else's dollar who's ever circulated like ours did. But when we no longer had to do business with each other, we no longer did business with each other. There were Black people that were building hospitals and airports and bus systems and banks. Like they were doing the damn thing, and we were spending with each other. I was listening to a Jewish guy named Beryl Solomon, and he says, we don't do business with anybody outside of our community. And so why is it a problem when we do that? No, we got to be intentional. Look to you first before you go outside of your community. Okay. We can get back to that. They didn't mess around and gave us the internet. This boycott was just the beginning, because now we're looking for Black-owned businesses. Now we're looking for people to do business with. See, again, them saying that, oh, we're going to roll back our DEI efforts. They ain't had to say it. They could have just did it and we would have never known. But they playing in our face. The reason why they say it is because they don't give a damn about you. They care more about white supremacy than they care about your Black dollars. And so what you've really had to do is say, you know what? I'm going to spend my Black dollars elsewhere, and I'm going to be intentional about spending with other Black people. See, they didn't woke up. They didn't poke the bear. They didn't woke up a sleeping giant in Black people, because they know that we're powerful together. And if they didn't know, they finna know. They really about to know. Okay. We got to teach our next generation, y'all. Our kids need financial literacy. They need investment strategies. My son, I got the video here too. My son, when he was 12 years old, he took the Dr. Boyce Watkins stock trading program, right? Watch this.
So Warren just finished this Dr. Boyce Watkins children investment seminar. So Warren, tell me what you learned.
So I learned about investments, money.
What kind of investments?
Well, investments, I basically learned about stocks and stuff, where when you're investing, you're basically buying a part of a company, and you can buy shares in that company. Mm-hmm. And so the more shares you buy, the more money you can get.
By you completing this module, what's getting ready to happen?
I'm about to get $1,000 to use to invest in stuff, and I'll keep the money.
So you're going to keep the money, the $1,000?
Yeah, but I'm investing it with it.
Tell me about liquidity.
So liquidity. So liquidity is basically, okay, I just learned about liquidity. It's how easy you can turn money that you get stuff into cash.
So, what do you expect to make from the $1,000 investment that you're getting ready to have?
More than $1,000? $10,000.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. How long is it gonna take you to do that?
I don't know. A while, because you can't get money overnight.
All right, son.
So my boy was 12. He's 20 now. He took my $1,000. At that time, I gave him $1,000 because he finished. He took it. He made $8,000. Took him about 2 years. And then a few years later, when he was 16, I had $7,000 in my stock portfolio. In a few months, he made $40,000. Then he took that, and then he had a group called Stock Tips with Warren. Maybe some of you were in his his training. He had over 200 people in his training where he was teaching people stock, like giving them stock tips. And then he was taking that, he was actually getting paid from having all the people in his group, and he was also making money in the stock. So this is stuff that your children can do. Get them financially literate. Dr. Boyce, he took his stock program for kids. I think it's Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. Y'all, get your kids financially lit. Get them financially lit. I do a mixer out here called Get Financially Lit, but get them financially help them to increase their financial literacy, because the way that we close the wealth gap is going to be through our children. Okay. So are y'all rocking with me? Y'all rocking with me? Okay. Number one, we got to practice collective economics. Y'all, we got to do business with each other. We got to purchase real estate. Okay. We got to own our own businesses. Everybody's not meant to own your own business, but the Bible says, in Ecclesiastes 11:2, it said have 7, no 8 revenue streams, because we don't know when a disaster can strike the land. 2020, what happened in 2020? COVID, right? Disaster struck me in 2022. I got a divorce. That was a disaster. That was disastrous. Luckily, I have multiple revenue streams. Okay. Death happens. People lose their job. People get ill. All of those things happen. So even if you're not a business owner solely, you got to have multiple revenue streams. That's important. So the training that I'm doing, the Bring Your Idea to Life training, where that's on March 15th and 16th, I'm going to show you how to bring your idea to life. I'm going to show you how to bring your idea to life. Okay. This is a $997 training, and you get 60% off if you use the BBS code, and it's only $397. Y'all. You get 2 days immersive training with me, and I'm going to help you, because we have to stay connected. And this is the reason why we're talking about it, but now I'll be giving you the action steps on how to do it. Everything I do, my life is dedicated to helping you in some way. That's why I have the Grow Your Money Club. Those are for people who can do the self-paced training. You want the self-paced training? Go to the Grow Your Money Club. I have all that stuff. All of this is in alignment. My life is dedicated really to helping to build Black wealth. I put a lot of time, effort, and energy into doing this for y'all, because I know that we can be in a position to be the lender and not the borrower, to be the investor and not the buyer. We are a consumption group of people. We have almost $2 trillion in spending power. Okay. If we were a country, we would be the 8th largest country. Our economy, Black people, is huge, but we only spend 2% of our money with us. Imagine if we took that $2 trillion, we started spending with each other. We started investing in ourselves. We started investing in our own businesses. They won't be able to take our power away from us. Our power is unmatched. This is what they fear. This is what they fear. They got a whole president. They installed a whole president to ensure, but they underestimated us Black people. They put a whole president together to ensure that we don't get ahead. And then they gave us their playbook as if we're too stupid to know. And I tell you, if you don't take advantage of now, I think now is a great opportunity. Don't look at it as the glass is half empty. Now is the best time to be alive. It really is. So if you guys start investing in yourself, please You need a coach. If you need a coach, I also do coaching. I do one-on-one coaching with people too. Even if you're not a woman, I'll do one-on-one coaching with you. So I do have a coaching with Constance. You go to my website, you go to coaching with Constance. I can coach you on some of your business strategies as well. Let me see where my coaching with Constance is. So I have this coaching with Constance. I help you with your personal wealth strategies, your credit repair if you need to, how to write a book, real estate guidance, business growth, or even helping you to craft your signature message. So I have something for everybody. Self-paced training. I coach Black women. I have the Grow Your Money Club. We're doing a training on the 15th and 16th. There are a menu of resources available, but you have to make a decision that you want to change. And that's the thing, is everybody's not going to make a decision that they want to change. That's the reality of it, right? Everybody's not going to make a decision. A lot of people are content with where they are, and if you like it, I love it. But I'm here to help you whenever you want to pull the trigger. But you have to make a decision that you want to do something different. And that's who I work with. I don't beg anybody to work with me. You got to make a decision that you want something different. And when you make that decision, I'm here. Y'all, I ain't going nowhere unless the Lord calls me home. I ain't going nowhere. So I always have something for you because my goal and my mission in life is to ensure that I just serve Black people. My TED Talk, I don't know if y'all seen it. It's called Google that shit. It was great. But it was about closing the wealth gap. And that's essentially what my life is about. Essentially what my life is about. So y'all, I had fun playing with y'all today. Let me see if any questions. I do have an Ask Constance question that somebody sent me, and I didn't do a graphic for it though. Okay. Okay, Constance, I keep hearing that credit is more important than cash. Is that really true? Oh, Ask Constance. Okay, so let me just tell you what the Ask Constance is. So this is really a way where I will answer your questions that you have live, okay? So let me just tell you real quick.
What's up, it's your girl Constance Carter, and we're gonna add a new segment. It's called Ask Constance. Now, this is nothing new because I've done Ask Constance in the past. It's where people shoot me a DM and they'll ask me certain questions. We're going to take a segment of the show and just answer questions. Or you can shoot me a DM. Go ahead and make sure you follow me everywhere at I am Constance Carter. Shoot me a DM and ask me a question. This could be a question about anything. It could be about real estate, credit, wealth building, marriage, love, sex, whatever you want. It could be a strawberry letter. It could be a Dear John or a Dear Abby letter. Whatever you want. Anything that you want to bring and you want to ask, we're going to have a segment just for your questions.
So that's Ask Constance. So I want to make sure that I answer your question. So shoot me a DM. Y'all make sure you follow me everywhere. I am Constance Carter. I don't know where you're watching from. I know there's about 700 people, 640 people on here right now live with me. And then if you are following me, go to if you're not following me, if you're not on my page, please subscribe to my YouTube. It's I am Constance Carter. Facebook, I am Constance Carter. TikTok, Instagram, all of the above. I totally forgot to add. God dang it. I was supposed to add Instagram to the stream. I forgot to add Instagram. I always forget because Instagram is different because when I go live, it don't just shoot out. I got to hit the ad. But anyway, I'm not live on Instagram right now. Dang it. But anyway, I put good content on Instagram anyway. So I keep hearing that credit is more important than cash. Is that really true? And how can I use credit to build wealth instead of debt? Most people use their credit for debt and not for wealth. If you know anything about leverage, wealthy people do not use their own cash. Donald Trump is not using his own cash. All of these wealthy people, they're not using their own cash. They're using credit. They use OPM, other people's money. Irv Gotti, rest his soul. He just passed away. But one of the things that he did an interview with Drink Champs last year, and he was talking about how he just got all of his masters and he sold all of his masters. And he got this massive, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 million, $100 million, something crazy. And he says, now I'm going to start doing film. And they were like, oh, you're going to use your money that you got from the masters, sell your masters to do the film. He was like, no, they're going to also give me a lot of credit. That's the way business people think. Now he has $100 million. But he's not going to use his money to do the film. He's going to use other people's money. His money is legacy money. He does what he wants. He gives to his family. He does his community, whatever he does. but he's using other people's money to be able to make more money. Okay. So that's why it's imperative that you keep your credit right and credit tight. Part of the Grow Your Money Club. I have training in there about the credit repair masterclass. I also have books. My first best-selling book is called Keeping Score. And actually, I just updated it. It doesn't look like this anymore. I just updated it a few months ago. And so I have all the new laws of 2024. But it was the best-selling book. Look at the reviews. People said this book, they didn't say change my life. They said save my life. I'm like, my credit book out here saving lives. But they did say, there's some really great reviews, and it's a quick read, but you get so much knowledge and so much information. But if you understand how to use your credit as leverage so that you could actually make money instead of using it as for debt to get into more debt, you got to start thinking strategically. So use your money to make more money. That's your Ask Constance moment. Yes. And listen, last week I'd seen people were on, and I had to do a replay last Friday. So if you don't know anything about Net 7 Collective, I have a replay on the Net 7 Collective where I really go in depth with about the Net 7 Collective, why I'm doing it, and all the women and their successes and all the amazing things that they're doing out in the world. It's my passion project. It ain't making me rich, but it's my give back. It's the thing that I love. One of the things that I love doing the most. I made history with Catalyst, building the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I'm proud of that. We're licensed in California, DC, Maryland, Virginia. And so we're out there working. In fact, in about 15 minutes, I have a Catalyst sales call where I'm going to be, we have our agents that were on the sales call, but we're still doing real estate. So if you need a real estate or you need need loans or mortgages, we do that too. So make sure you tap in on everything. You can go to my website, constancecarter.com. Everything that I have is on constancecarter.com, and anything that you need access to, it's all there. It is all there. I love y'all. Last week I wasn't here on Thursday and Friday, so I didn't get to share my Black History moments with you guys. However, I do have a couple that I had the last 2 days. So today and tomorrow, at least you'll have a couple more. Actually, I think I have more because weekends, I did them every day of the month. And so the weekend ones didn't get played on the weekday because I'm not live on weekend. So I got a few more that I'll play over the next several days because I want y'all to get all this good, rich Black history. But this one is the great and the late Miss Billie Holiday. Check it out. What happens when a Black woman speaks truth to power? What happens when her voice becomes so dangerous to the system that the government itself sets out to destroy her? This is the story of Billie Holiday, one of the greatest jazz singers of all times. But her legacy is more than just music. She sang out about the pain of Black America, about the lynching of our people, about the horrors they wanted us to forget. And for that, the FBI made it their mission to silence her. They arrested her, they blacklisted her, and when she lay dying, they handcuffed her to a hospital bed and denied her treatment. But you can't kill the truth. You can't erase a voice that was meant to shake the world. And today, on Black History Spotlight, we're diving into the life, the legacy, and the persecution of Billie Holiday, the jazz queen the government tried to destroy. Let's take it back to 1939. Billie Holiday steps onto the stage at Cafe Society in New York, the first integrated nightclub in America. The lights are dim. A single spotlight shines on her. The room falls silent as she sings. This was not just a song. It was a protest. It was truth set to melody. Strange Fruit was chilling. Unfiltered description of lynching in America. A reality that too many wanted to ignore. But Billie, she refused to look away. And that's when she became a target. The FBI didn't want her singing that song. They didn't want the world to hear it. They didn't want America's dirty secrets exposed. And the man leading the charge against was Harry Anslinger, the racist head of the FBI. Anslinger hated jazz. He called it the music of degenerates. But more than that, he hated seeing a powerful Black woman who refused to be controlled. So he went after Billie the only way he knew how, through her struggles. Billie Holiday was battling addiction like so many Black entertainers who carried the weight of racism, trauma, and exploitation. Instead of helping her, the FBI weaponized her pain. They sent Black informants to infiltrate her circle and set her up. They had her arrested in 1947 on drug charges. She was sentenced to a year in prison, no lawyer, no fair trial. And when she got out, they revoked her cabaret license. That meant she couldn't perform in clubs, the lifeline of her career. They tried to cut off her income, her opportunities, and her future. But Billie wasn't known to back down. She kept performing. She kept singing Strange Fruit, and the FBI kept coming after her. Fast forward to 1959, Billie is sick, her body failing from the years of addiction, the trauma, and relentless persecution. She collapsed, and she's taken to the hospital in New York. And guess what? The FBI still wasn't done with her. They showed up at her hospital room and they handcuffed her to a bed. They stationed guards around her room as if she was a criminal. And worst of all, when doctors ordered methadone to ease her pain, the FBI blocked the treatment. They let her suffer. Billie Holiday lay there dying, handcuffed, starved, and abandoned. On July 17, 1959, she took her last breath. She died with 70 cents in her bank account. The government didn't just try to silence her, they helped kill her. But family, here's where they failed. Billie Holiday's voice never died. Her song never faded. Strange Fruit became one of the most powerful protest songs in history. It fueled the civil rights movement. It exposed the horrors of racism to the world. Her story is proof that when a black woman speaks truths of power, they will try to silence her. The truth can't be buried. And what can we learn from Billie's life? Number one, we must own our voice. Billie didn't own her masters. She didn't have financial security. And when the system came for her, she had no safety net. That's why we must build wealth, protect our power, and control our own narratives. Number two, we must keep speaking the truth. The system will always try to suppress us, but we must refuse to be silent. And three, we must protect our legacy. Billie Holiday's story reminds us that generational wealth isn't just about money. It's about power, it's about influence, and the ability to withstand attacks on our people. That's why we have to stay woke. Wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. Because they may have tried to silence Billie Holiday, but they will not silence us. Rest in power, Billie Holiday. Your voice still echoes. Your fight still matters. And to my woke family, keep building, keep speaking truth, and keep securing our legacy. Because we are the generation that can't be stopped. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with somebody who needs to know this Black History gem.